First of all, what is the crime of passion? Well, to me, it's a violent incident that maybe otherwise wouldn't occur in the absence of intimacy, in the absence of lack of foresight. So we go to Mexico, one of the most passionate places on earth, where Maria dances and revels in the candlelight. She catches the eye of many a suitor, but is never interested because she loves her wildlife too much. But one day, Javier walks into the bar. He's a businessman, and though she's a peasant, she's wearing a dazzling white gown, and he can't keep her eyes off of her. Eventually, they fall in love, and she holds on to the idea of being saved from her peasant upbringings. They have kids. 3 years later, she has an infant child and a 2-year-old boy. And everything is going great for them, except she can't relinquish the idea of him leaving her for somebody of a higher class. And of course, as she is believing this, she begins to resent her children, she begins to pull away from Javier, shows less affection towards him, and eventually he does pull away as well. One night, he doesn't come home. She waits and waits and waits, and she met this guy at a bar, so what can you expect? But she waited and waited and waited, and her resentment grew and grew, and it was 3 years of this where resentment was just growing, and finally, in a fit of rage, she takes her children, one by the hand and one under her arm from his crib, leads them to the riverbank. And in a moment, they are gone. She's tossed them into the river. She cries and cries and cries, and she cries harder than she's ever cried in her whole life. She cries so hard, she begins to wail, her voice breaks, her eyes begin to bleed from their sockets. And realizing what she's done, she wants to save her children, but the motherly instinct kicks in too late. So she throws herself into the river with them, and as the river rushes, she doesn't try to swim. She drowns with them. She knows she can't save them, but she's lost her love, she's lost her children. What more does she have? So she wakes up on the riverbank, wondering what happened. She's in her white gown, her face is streaked with blood, and she realizes that the angel of death has given her a choice. She can go back and be a phantom at the Fandango again, cursing all the revelers, not receiving any kind of spiritual fulfillment, or she can continue to search for her children. And of course she chooses the latter. But she never finds them, and she wails and wails and wails and wails, and many a compassionate child out after dark would be caught in her grasp, and for a fleeting moment she would achieve some kind of spiritual satisfaction from bringing them and flinging them into the river, because if she can't have her children, why should other mothers be able to have theirs? So to this day, she roams the riverbanks and she wails and wails, still loving her children, loving her husband, but all the while having sacrificed her eternity to find them. And so in moments of passion, we have to ask ourselves, what are we willing to sacrifice in order to fulfill our needs and the needs of the people that we love? Because after all, the one who doesn't know love doesn't know sacrifice.